Okay, let's take a look at a model answer, and you're going to see how a short introduction, which focuses on the question asked, can get you a higher mark. So let's take a look at the answer. Our use of the internet has had an enormous impact on the way humans relate. This essay will argue that high levels of internet, particularly social media use, often lead to isolation and poor social skills. So let's break it down and take a look how these two relate. Our use of the internet. Okay, so internet is correct. This is our topic. We should be concerned. So this is we, and I'm using our. Okay, so our use of the internet is we. It's the same people. So this is using a synonym. Okay, has had an enormous impact. So enormous impact, very strong words, very clear, and good words to get a 7. On the way humans relate. Okay, so the way humans relate is effect on social interaction. So the way humans relate is another way of saying social interaction. Okay, so actually there are many paraphrases, but it's also introducing the topic. And these words are saying this is a very important topic for us to be discussing. So we're not just saying, oh, we're going to talk about some things. We're talking about something that has an enormous impact. So it's an important topic. So this essay will argue that high levels of internet. Now, you notice I put internet here twice. And here I'm using the comma, and I'm saying particularly social media, because I want to focus on social media. But I'm using internet here because the question says internet, not social media. Okay, the social media is an example, but the internet is the question. So I don't want to go off and focus on social media. First, I want to say social media is part of the internet, and you asked me about the internet, right? Okay, so I put in commas, comma, particularly social media. And you can use this structure on any essay you want. So something happened, comma, particularly in this area. Another comma. Use often leads to isolation and poor social skills. And now we have the two things that happen because of this situation. We're concerned about the effect on social interaction. How far do I agree? This essay will argue. Argue is a strong word. We're arguing, right? But in academics, argue means I'm going to argue a point of view. I'm going to argue my side, and that's completely normal. Okay, so you want to have a good, strong idea. So this essay will argue that high levels of internet, particularly social media use, often lead to isolation and poor social skills. Now, how does this help you get a 7? You read this and you say, oh, I understand. But you need to understand why this is getting you a 7. Because this is where, if you don't understand it, you go and do the exam and you spend the money and you get on the bus and you come back and you got 6 or you got 6.5. Why? Why is this simple, clear introduction better? Because the band descriptors say in task response for a 7, you must fully respond and you must extend. Okay, so let's do this one first. What is fully respond? That means what has been asked here in the question has been completely, in every point, talked about. So in here, I talked about all of these points. Okay? So the only one that, I used we, I used effect on social interaction. Concerned, I didn't really use so much, so maybe I noticed a small weakness. But this is just showing you the way you need to think. So, am I concerned? Do you read this and think, oh, he's concerned? Yeah. Because isolation and poor social skills are bad things. So I'm concerned. It's implied. Now, implying that I'm talking about that I'm addressing. So addressing means they said it and I need to respond. That's fully response, right? So implying that I respond is different from saying that I responded. So this is a good example of difference, right? The effect on social interaction is right here, on the way humans relate. So I have responded fully. So here is on the way humans relate, and here is on the way humans relate. It's very clear, okay? This is implied that I'm concerned. It's implied, it means, oh, you can guess. But the examiner's job is not to guess anything. The examiner is reading and the examiner is working hard. It's the examiner's weekend. Maybe they've been teaching all week. They don't want to guess. And they have to think about it, and it's hard work, and they're not happy. Your job as a communicator is to make everything 100% clear. So say it. So really, if I go back and rewrite this, I will put this in. I will say this clearly. Okay. So our use of the internet is concerning, for example, without thinking it through. Just, put it in there. That idea should be in there, okay? Fully responds. Respond means they said something and you talked about all the points. Now, in this case, you're going to get a 7 with this, no problem. I'm being picky. I mean, maybe you wouldn't get a 9, I don't know. I think it's pretty clear that I'm concerned, but you see, your job is to make sure that you have paid the money to take the exam and that you're going to pass. So you have to know, what does this mean? And you have to know, what does this mean? And you have to know that this answers all of these points. If you do that, you can't lose because you have fully responded, right? Oh yeah, but the examiner should know. Too bad. What are you going to do? Do you want to waste time arguing and asking for a resit? It's a waste of time. It's a waste of everybody's time. Just give a response to all of these. Now, in the last video, I talked about why I haven't talked about this part. Because the question is asking you instead of, so in place. So we don't see the internet as a way of opening up communication. They're saying don't see that. That's what instead of means, right? So they're saying don't see that. It means don't respond to that. That's not the question. Right? So if you write, oh, using seeing the internet as a way of opening up communication is great, you didn't answer the question, because the question is this. There's a statement. There's something they're saying. We should do this. And you say yes or no. We should be concerned? Yes, I said we should be concerned. Essay could also say we shouldn't be concerned. It's okay. You have to answer this statement. We should be concerned about this? Yes or no? Okay? So you have to be, first of all, super clear on what is the statement, what is the question asking, and then you have to make sure that all of these points in the question are responded to. Okay? They're not asking you, should we see the internet as a way of opening up possibilities? They're not asking you that. They're asking you, we should be concerned about the effect on social interaction. So this essay is about social interaction. Now, how do I know that I have 100% done a fully response in the task response? There's my 2 reasons. We should be concerned about the effect on social media. Yes. Why? Because of these 2 reasons. Okay. These 2 reasons are paragraph 1 in my essay and paragraph 2. Let's just write that here. P1, P2. How many paragraphs in the essay? 4. Introduction, P1, P2, conclusion. Done. There's my whole essay right there. Now, when I am writing this word, this is my topic, I have to think, can I explain this fully? Do I have examples? Can I extend? Can I really give a good explanation of this? Is it a good idea? Yes, okay, use it. And can I do this one? Yes, okay, I can extend, I can explain this. Now, this is good for the examiner. Why? Because the examiner goes, I see the organization of the essay. Coherence and cohesion mark. I'll do another video on it. I'll give you lots of examples. So here we're talking about fully respond. So did I fully respond? I already started responding to that. Those are my reasons. You know them right away. Look, and I'm only using 25, 30 words. Okay, it's focused on that question. Have I extended? No, not yet. Extending will happen in the paragraphs, but I've started to discuss the topic already. These are my two focuses. Why would I put them here? What does it relate to extend? Because the ideas are already here in the reader's mind, and now I can go straight in and explain them quickly. I can go right in and start explaining. I don't need to introduce this in the paragraph. It's here already. I can introduce a little bit, but I don't need to so much. Okay. Usually, with this system, a student can understand to focus on these two points in their paragraphs, and usually that means they will get their 7. So I'll do another video on this for you. This system is actually quite quick because I'll have my students do 3 or 4 of these every day, and I say to the student, do you know what you can write about in this essay? They go, yeah, I know. Do you know that you responded to the question? Yeah, I did. Cool, so go and explain this. The structure is already there. Fill in the blanks. Just explain it. So this system works really, really well. I usually charge about, I won't put the amount of money on here because in case it changes for whatever reason, but I don't charge too much. It's really quick. And I can tell the students what's wrong very quickly. And this fully responds and extends, gets them their 7. And I can see it right from the introduction. And I can show them where they're not answering the question. If you think back to the student example at the beginning of this video, it was all over the place, right? It was too long, wasn't focused, didn't know what the paragraphs were about, used 60 words, okay? So this is the training that I do. It's quick, you don't have to pay a lot of money for it, and my students pass. Okay, any questions, put them in the comments below, and I'll put my email below. Get in touch, and I'll help you pass your exam. Good luck.